Hannah from Cask Quill. Welcome to my first ever booktube video. Some of you may already know me from my Instagram account or from my blog, both of which I will link below if you'd like to check those out as well. I'd just like to introduce myself a bit. First, I'd like to talk about my favorite genres. I pretty much read anything if it's been recommended to me especially, but my favorites are definitely fantasy and historical fiction. I also love classics, graphic novels and comics, as well as mystery. As far as what my favorite books are, I could probably never actually choose one if I had to. Like, I might really struggle with that. Also, it's probably The Hobbit. I hate to choose a favorite, obviously, because there are so many good ones. That one has always held such a soft spot for me, and it's one of the books that I have reread the most times in my life. I also, like most other sane individuals, am a huge fan of Harry Potter. That is my life. You'll come to know that. Another of my favorite ever books is Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. Love, love, love that book. I've read it a number of times as well, and every time I just uncover more and more about it. I love it so much. I'm also a huge fan, speaking of historical fiction, of the Master and Commander series. I've only read, and I should say only, the books, there's like 21 books in the series. I think I've read 14, 13, 14, so I'm almost done. They're fabulous. I love them. I'm also mildly obsessed with tall ships, so you'll probably notice that too. As far as short stories go, Edgar Allan Poe is definitely my favorite. He's one of my favorite authors ever as well, and I love rereading as many of his things as I can right around Halloween, but really anytime. My two favorite Poe stories are The Cask of Amontillado and The Mask of the Red Death. And actually, The Cask of Amontillado was part of the inspiration for my Cask and Quill name. Some other favorite authors for me would be Shakespeare and Dickens, like cliche, but they're good. I am a Ravenclaw. What house do you belong to? My favorite booktuber is definitely Lauren from Lauren and the Books. I could listen to her talk all day, and I have no idea, now that I'm filming this, how she is capable of just sitting down in front of the camera and just talking until the end of the video without really having to edit anything. I actually had to edit something out just right then. This is hard. She is just so damn good and so funny. The first video of hers that I ever watched was her unboxing of the 20th anniversary edition of her the Gryffindor Harry Potter book. I was watching it and burst out laughing because it was so amazing. So Lauren, hats off. I am currently reading like 3 books. Well, technically probably like 10. I have some that I set aside that have been on hiatus for quite some time. Almost to the point that I'm probably going to have to start some of them again from the beginning. But currently, I am reading A Storm of Swords. Loving it so much. So this is my first read through. I'm not doing a reread. I first started reading this series a few years ago when I read A Game of Thrones and really loved it. I hadn't started watching the show by that time, and I wanted to read all of the books and then go through and watch the show afterward, because I'm just that kind of person where I prefer to read the book first. I did get through the first book before watching the show, and I just think I binged the first 3 seasons after reading the first book. And I'm really glad I did read at least the first book before then, but it became abundantly clear that I was not going to be able to finish all 5 of the books in time before the new season came out, and I wanted to be ready to watch that. So I'm caught up on the series and can't wait for the next season to begin, but I have decided to start picking up the books again and have so far read the 2nd book, and now I'm working on the 3rd now. Started it last month, wanted to finish it, just I was taking forever with it, and yeah. So I'm still trying to finish that one up, and hopefully we'll be done soon. I'm also currently reading Under the Tuscan Sun. Really, really loving this one. This is another one where I have actually seen the movie prior to reading the book, but with the book, this book in particular, that is totally okay because they are so different. there's really no disappointment or real spoilers for it. But so far, I am really loving this book. I love the movie a lot. It's one of my kind of go-to feel-good movies. And I'm reading it this month because I actually have a Under the Tuscan Sun dinner party planned for later this month that I am going to be hosting. I'll be posting the full details and photos as well as some recipes up on the blog. The last thing that I'm reading right now is Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Now, I told myself that I was not going to do a reread this year because I just reread the series last year. But it's the 20th anniversary and I kind of couldn't say no, so I'm doing it again. Plus, Pottermore is hosting the Wizarding World Book Club, and most of that is taking place on Twitter. I'll leave a link for that stuff below as well in case you want to join. Basically, we're just reading through the entire series, and they are hosting a discussion on Twitter every Friday. The discussion takes place at 4 p.m. British Summer Time. So for me here in Central Time, that turns out to be 10 a.m. on Fridays. Loving it. It's so awesome. Please check it out if you're interested. So that pretty much does it for me as an introduction. I hope you feel like you know me a little bit better. Obviously, I could tell you tons more about myself, but I feel like I've rambled on enough for one video. We'll save some for later. If you have any questions for me, I would love for you to leave a comment below, and I hope to make another one of these videos in the not too distant future just so I can sort of tell you a little bit more about myself, because I feel like this is going to end up being pretty brief, but I'm new at this. If you're interested in following me on social media, I will leave all of those links below. Come and check me out on Instagram and my blog in particular. I have a lot of stuff up on there that may be of interest to you as a reader. Thank you for joining me and for welcoming me in advance to the community. Can't wait to get to know you all and let you get to know me a little bit better too. Leave me a comment below saying hi. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.